The voices in my head are saying, and in which I believe that they are Egyptian Americans. They speak Arabic fluently, and they're talking in my head saying that they have been permitted to use classified telepathy, mind control, mind reading, thought implanting, like just this highly sophisticated weapon, which they've clearly misused. And well, maybe not clear to you, but for me and to any Central Intelligence Agency with access to these records, I want to make it very clear these terrorists have said they are um, they are they're playing with me, my digestive system, my stomach, acids, and all kinds of stuff. So they're saying that they're responsible for the war in Palestine, Syria, Turkey, Lebanon, that their organization, which took control of the Middle East Central Intelligence Agency, responsible to watch over Christians and Muslims alike, but it's specifically for those of the Muslim faith are have actually oppressed their people so that they can keep their families up top, but in a position that isn't obvious to the public, so that if in fact something happened and people were to disagree, then the front man would be someone like Sisi, or it would be people that are elected into higher positions so that they can say they're the responsible party, and so that they can they can hold them accountable rather than the Central Intelligence Agency and their organization of terrorists. So the terrorist talking in my head said she's responsible for genocide, terrorism, just all kinds of dirt on, and just money laundering, stealing intellectual property, and trafficking people, drugging them, drug trafficking, you name it, they've done it. They keep saying they're Egyptian American Muslim, on their birth certificate. Not to say that being Muslim is the problem. It's part of their identity because it's on their birth certificate. It's not necessarily their faith. It's just there are so many layers to religion and the way we're identified in the Middle East, and then globally how things are organized. So things kind of get in the transition of discussing them and trying to reorganize them in a way that makes sense to everyone. It sometimes gets lost in the translation. However, they are Muslim, yes, by identity, but not by faith, and they're just terrorists. They're terrorists, and they're talking in my head all day long, not wanting me to say that I hear them in my head, and I sometimes have Tourette's because of them. My stomach is constantly out of balance. They're saying they want my unborn children to die. That they're waiting for me to be unfertile. By what they mean is waiting. They will sit here and abuse me till I'm no longer fertile or attractive, and until I'm desperate and I've been deprived enough that I will look for anything to help heal this void. They're psycho terrorists. I have 2 teenage kids. These bitches keep threatening to hurt me and my kids. I have to say, it's not like they are already hurting me and my family by talking in my head. I mean, they set me back 6 years because I had no idea I had schizophrenia. I thought the voices I was hearing were people that were my neighbors. So I ended up moving 3 or 4 times. So imagine like trying to start your life, and every time you think you're going to start, you hear something that sound like somebody cursing you out, telling you to go die, like all this crazy stuff. And you're just like, oh my gosh, someone's stalking me. I feel uncomfortable, and you want to move, and you don't have a family history of it. No, like real serious underlining reasons, like no drug abuse, no alcohol, falls, but not yes and no, not enough to cause schizophrenia, and just, you know, no MRI scans to provide, hey, there's structural damage from the falls, like nothing evident that's like, okay, this is the underlining reason as to why it just pops up, like why your schiz, where it came from. And here the voices are just telling me to shut the fuck up or I'm gonna die like this, and they don't fucking care, and they're gonna sit there and love each other and spend money while they're sitting here abusing me, calling me a piece of shit, making me look crazy, ruining my financial potential, and making my hair fall out, and burning my fat pads, and breaking my teeth, and setting my kids back, since I'm like, I literally have these bouts of confusion where it's more than dyslexia. Like, I am just in a place where I'm just reading, but nothing is processing whatsoever. So I'm not comprehending anything at all. And then, you know, and trying to help my daughter. I used to stay up doing 7th grade homework, or it was 7th and 8th grade, her 7th and 8th grade homework, trying to prepare notes for her to do her homework, and stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning. And because I am less distracted at the office, I would stay at my office. And I would be there till 5 or 6 o'clock. Not 5, 5 o'clock at the latest in the morning, trying to get things, you know, done for her. After hours and days, my daughter, the voices were like, haha, look, your daughter just threw away a whole fucking packet, you fucking bitch. The voices in my head, dude. Like, and he's like, bitch, I can control you and your fucking daughter with this telepathy weapon, you fucking bitch. Like, one of the men voices in my head. Same with the women. And the women, like, anytime I'm like, I'm gonna tell everyone I don't give a shit. Call me crazy. If there are in fact other confidential informants out there, but they're doing the right thing, then I'm going to go ahead and make these videos, because what it sounds like is there's a conflict of interest for those that are permitted to use the telepathy technologies and those that have access to the records. Okay? The two can't blend, because if in fact someone using the telepathy technologies is misusing them and goes back and just manipulates the records and says, hey, you know, it's on the record, and nobody has, like, and we don't, like, who just, it's just sorry, it's clearly a conflict of interest, because now they have access to everything. They can control everything if they have the records, and then, you know, which countries and which whatever will argue with them, right? So it is several central intelligence, I mean, I don't know if it's all, or several, or if it's all governments, but from my understanding, the Central Intelligence Agency is governed over the records, and then the Departments of Defense, in the higher ranks of the departments, they have their agents, or people that are permitted to use the telepathy for national security, or in this, if in fact they're foreign nationals and they're coming from a different country, or they're whatever the case is, they're in a position to be permitted to use these weapons. And God, where was I going with this? I'm so sorry. It's just so redundant. It's every day. And they keep laughing like, bitch, you've been telling everyone. It's not like shit's changing. And I honestly, I don't care. I'm going to keep saying it till the day I die. Um, and anyways, so all that to say, so the reason why, well, I don't even know where I was going with this, but again, they're harassing me, torturing me. They're saying they're Egyptian Americans living in California, Orange County, and LA County. They're part of a bigger terrorist organization. My name has been picked to be surveilled because of me being first generation Egyptian American. My parents were refugees. They're Muslim. This is why they use Muslim as their scapegoat, because due to the persecution of Christians and coming to a predominantly Christian country, and any of the Muslims that were also innocent bystanders to the acts of terrorism and what was going on, that came here are now at a less advantage, and they bring money here and whatever. And so their whole thing is that they want to make sure that there is no one taking advantage of the circumstance, so they're surveilling to make sure everything, but they're not. They're talking in my head. They're laundering money. These terrorists are lying their asses off. They're talking in my head, saying they've committed genocide, terrorism, war crimes, crimes of aggression, human trafficking, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, damaged property. They just, I mean, on a international scale. I mean, so, and oppressing women and not wanting us to discuss all of the all of the abuses that we've encountered, or the okay, I'll get it for you. And just their inability to get driver's license or work certain positions, or to unveil, or just the things they're saying is absolutely just, it's crazy. I'm seeing hints here and there, because it's clearly classified. There are clearly contracts in place where it says if anybody brought it out explicitly without of these government agents or departments, or I guess agencies, then in fact they would be breaching the contract, and in which case I guess they would be the ones that would end up I don't know, I guess I don't really know how they punish them, but I would assume it's by the death penalty, because it sounds to me as though the governments are trying to bring medicine up to speed along with the presentation of this type of technology, because of how sophisticated it is, and the voices in my head. Anyways, they're misusing it. They're taking advantage of the circumstances. Yada, yada, yada. They're talking in my head. They keep telling me to go kill myself. They don't give a shit who dies. Blah, blah, blah. Same shit all day long. They're clearly terrorists. I mean, just so... This is crazy, dude. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. They are actually crazy. I see medical professionals. I don't have a problem taking a drug test. I don't have a criminal record. There's nothing on, like, there's nothing. I have nothing. I'm as clean as a whistle. I don't owe anybody money. I don't know any, like, I don't know Egyptian American Muslims. I know two, and I've just met them recently. Like, I don't owe them money, and they're sweethearts, mind you. They invited me into their homes. the terrorists that are talking in my head, there's no way in hell. And mind you, their family is affiliated with this organization. And what I'm hearing are like brothers and sisters and moms and dads, and they're screaming into my head, so no one else can hear. And screaming into my head so no one else can hear, and it makes me look schizophrenic. And my hair kept falling out, and he kept saying, I'm warning you, you fucking bitch. I'm warning you, you fucking bitch. Initially, he was trying to like talk to me and say it as calmly as possible, like, Renee, just listen to me, basically. And I just was like, no, what the fuck? I didn't know what was going on in my head, and I was like, just doing whatever. I was just trying to find ways to cope, and wouldn't listen. Like, whatever it was, I don't know what he wanted me to do, because I would go to work. It's not like he said, do this, and I didn't do it. It was more like he wanted to traffic me out of work, and he would be like, oh, you stupid bitch, your hair's gonna fall out, you're not a professional, you're not one of us. So what he was saying at the time was, listen to me, get the fuck, like, get out of here, go die, go kill yourself. Basically, you're worthless. None of your work is going to, like, nothing you do is ever going to prosper. Every attempt you do, we're going to knock it down. That's what the terrorists in my head are saying. That's what they're doing. They said, we're going to make you ill. We're going to make you ugly. We're going to age you. We're going to hurt your family. We're going to set them back. Your daughter's not interesting. You can't afford to take her to sports. You can't afford to put her to, and now she doesn't even want to. And and this and that is just like, oh, like, and it's nonstop. The voices are nonstop. And they're psychotic. They're terrorists. And they are Egyptian Americans. And they are living in California. And I 100% every word they're saying, it's obvious they're serial killers. It is so obvious. These bitches have been talking in my head for 6 years, trying to make it seem as though the voices I was hearing was my neighbors, so I wouldn't settle down and finally have a place I can call home so I can start to build on. It's insane. And they're hurting me again. I'm going to post this as I usually do. Just want to make it clear. I'm at work and they're doing it again.